find a Mac 10 to work with. So that Mac 10 that was dropped earlier.
Yeah, and the fact he's got armor as well, be a very good idea to try and save that. They've got the scout as well. They can make that work for them. Anything can happen on this map, especially at the long range. If Fnatic go for a face down long and Guardian's there with a scout, anything could really go down. So yeah, in their best interest to save this, absolutely.
And then Fnatic not going to drop any guns here, at least they shouldn't. The bomb is going to go up. And a very uneventful post-plant situation here for both teams, essentially just holding angles, and they will save. So now we go into the third round. This should be a hard eco for the rest of the team. Edward has 2,200, so he could invest in a P250, but instead he gets dropped the CZ from Seized. Wise play there.
Yeah.
That's very nicely done. Make sure that Edward is also very good at the CZ, so it's a good weapon for him to have. Flamey, I think he messed up the jump there because he just took a lot of fall damage. Unless he got shanked by a teammate. That makes a bit more sense because that is a lot of damage to take from that fall if you're trying to drop down to A, or rather to B. And unfortunately for Guardian, that is not going to be a successful lurk for him. He gets boosted up there only to take a bullet to the face. Edward waiting behind the barrels though, holding up close. Are they going to be able to give him a target? Yes, they will, but he gets the kill just barely. Runs out of bullets, however, and he's going to get completely overwhelmed. A single kill, and once again, it's going on to JW, so he might be a little miffed about that. And if he goes for the AWP here, he's not going to have any money for nades, so that's going to be the call.
Yeah, it was a great read by Crims there, just predicting that boost coming in, completely ripped Guardian's head off there. And here we go, the first gun round coming in. You said no AWP for Navi, and whether that's going to be a wise idea for them, I'm not sure. They're definitely going to have to get map control here if they're going to want to lock down this setup. We've got JW picking up the AWP. He's going to be looking down for some kills here on the monster tunnels. I'm
so surprised that they go for 3 helmets on Navi as well. That could very well be 3 smoke nades, an HE, or a kit.
I agree.
I mean, we don't have a single kit picked up for Navi. They're so light on nades. They have a single smoke on Edward at this point. I mean, Fnatic now, if they can just peek around on this Mac, they can actually get some space. But Zeus is going to somehow get picked off there by, or rather, other way around. JW gets picked off by Zeus. But that was over in the main B entrance, so that's it's a bit interesting there. Probably just some spray through on the pillar, or rather through the pipes. Shouldn't be an effective pop flash, but there's going to be a Molotov, and that's going to be effective. Zeus might have to be forced out, or he's standing right on the edge here. Zeus kind of dancing around. They're trying to get rid of him. Olofmeister not going to be successful. Instead, Edward, lurking in mid, takes out Pronax, who was working his way through restroom. Somehow, Fnatic have been pared down to 3 members here. And the remaining 3 closing in on this B site, but Zeus is still holding close and sword. He's going to have support. There we go. The kill coming in from Zeus. He's looking for the follow-up onto connector. Olofmeister just completely ineffective in this position. He needs to find this shot already. Incredible how long Zeus has delayed things. Finally, Olofmeister gets rid of him, but the damage is already done.
Great positional play there from Zeus to manage to slow the T's down, manage to pick up a couple of frags as well. And when you've got that little utility and you don't even have the kits, you need to bring the game to the terrorists. So you need to go on the offensive and become the team that's dominating the map. And they managed to pick up a frag onto JW, very important. Obviously, he had the AWP. And that's got them straight back into this now. They should be able to build some momentum. The economy now back on their side, full utility in hand. Still lacking the head armor, but obviously against the AKs, there's not too much of a big deal. So they want to win this one for sure, just to make sure they don't get in a horrible situation of going the next round being an eco.
And again, the boosts. This is also something basically that's becoming standard here for CT side. You have to try and change up your position. You have to come up with something clever, and they were pre-aiming that position as well. So Olofmeister not going to get rewarded with the kill, but at least they managed to force Navi back. They force a nade out as well. So they can get that gear out of the way. 1 minute, 10 seconds left, and C's still holding up close, not finding the angle. There's Crims on your screen. So we'll see if Crims is going to be able to spot anything out. It's JW once again leading the charge. This time JW wins the fight. He gets that opening and that entry frag. Very light on the nades now for Navi. With 55 seconds left, they're down to a single incendiary and 2 flash nades. This is actually incredible. The gear on Fnatic, they have 5 smokes. They can do whatever they wish at this point.
Yeah, just great reading for Fnatic there. The fact they managed to pick up that kill with no trade whatsoever, it's put them in a very good, strong position here. Like you said, the smokes are available. They can smoke off the A-bomb site here. But to be honest, they don't really need to right now. They're probably just be looking for another frag, and then before they make their execution on, at least working out some intel.
There's 30 seconds left. They're starting to run out of time here, so they need to make this play. And Guardian, perfect. They take out the man who had the nade in hand. Guardian is down. Edward not able to capitalize on his position, and the smoke goes down to basically render that plant safe. Nothing Flamey and Zeus can do in this position. They're down on the B side, and they're already backing off into T-spawn. And honestly, at this point, Fnatic, they might want to get out and start hunting.
Oh, absolutely. The CT is going to be reset to $1,400 next round. It's going to be a full eco from them. They really do want to save these weapons, but Fnatic have a nice bankroll. All they need to do is they really want to hunt this. They want to take those weapons off them and make sure they force them onto an absolutely full eco next round.
We might see, well, We might see a Flusha rounding the corner here. Does the timing work? Yes, it does perfectly. In fact, could get the second man as well, and he is. Wow, Flusha. No gun save for Na'Vi, and he's even knifing the corpse. Going a bit happy there.
So Navi's economy isn't horrendous. They're obviously going to be the buy next round. They are going to be investing in PT50s, a 5-7 as well. No utility there, so I think like a nice push from them could be a good idea. We're just trying to get an early frag wherever they can. It's a very difficult map to do this on, especially on the long range part of the maps.
They do manage to spread out quite a bit on this map right now. Fnatic, they are going to go for the flash. It's not spotting the man on mid, and wow, long spray there from Crims to get that kill on the Guardian. Fancy footwork from Guardian keeping him alive. That's Edward there with his glorious beard, challenging Havoc for the title of most manly beard in CS. And Crims is going to find Edward as well. So they're just cleaning house at this point, Fnatic. You know, they put on their aprons, they've got the brooms, the mop, and the feather duster, and right now it's not looking too hot for Na'Vi. Flusha just, I mean, it's mechanical.
This is a really strong position for...
It's flamey. We'll get it right eventually.
Yeah, it's like the fact they've got 5 rounds on the T side, it's so strong. And like when you know you've got such a strong CT side to accompany that as well, it's a really dangerous position for Navi now. They can't afford to really drop any more rounds. They want to start building this up and getting back into it. We can see they have brought out the AWP now. They're going to mix it up a little bit. Potentially go for that initial round pick just to kind of get them back into the round and get the momentum in their favor. Here we go. Yeah, Guardian is going to be going for an aggressive sort of face here, I think.
And Guardian always focused as always, essentially. And he's gone ahead and self-boosted himself up there, so trying to change up the angle somewhat. But look at Fnatic. They're changing up the pace here. They're trying to put some pressure on B very quickly. And once again, they're going to force out the nades. Incendiary used. 2 smokes left, 2 flashes. Na'Vi, it feels like the majority of this first half, they have gone without any nades whatsoever to help them. It's all been down to rifle work. But there's that 1 smoke. Already down on short with the minute 10. It's a lifetime. Fnatic have all the time in the world now. They can do what they want. And Zeus nearly gets his head taken off there by Crims. Nicely done by Crims. This is going to set it up now. Smoke's going out, flashes as well. There's the Molotov, but Flamey doing a bit of a Flusha. He manages to pick up 1 kill with that P90 on short. Olofmeister instantly returns, however, and it's going to be a man advantage now for Na'Vi, managing to turn it around. Pronax finds the kill on Disease, but they still need to get that bomb planted. They just now are going to manage it, but Zeus jumps up onto the site, invades it, and this is looking fantastic for Na'Vi. 2-man lead, and Crims crouching. Not much that he can do in this position at all. They should be defusing on this bomb, but it looks like they're still hunting around for Crims, wanting to make sure that they don't get shot in the back somehow. Unless he's got some kind of No,
I think he's kind of given this one up and letting them have it. He knows. Once they got that bomb down, it looked quite strong for Fnatic, but the retake was just far too beneficial from Navi for them there. Jumping up onto the boxes and taking down the planter was a very important move for them. Crims managing to stay alive, and then this should be the start of the campaign now for Navi to get themselves back into this game. Lord knows they need to get a few more rounds on the board just to kind of assert this dominance on the CT side, which we should be seeing. I'd like to see some more map control from them, to see some more aggression in the sewers as well.
And Fnatic in the lead with 5 rounds. 2 rounds now for Na'Vi. And once again, Fnatic setting up across the map, looking to see if there's going to be any aggro pushes coming out from Na'Vi. Na'Vi, I do like that they are putting a focus on long. They are putting a focus on mid early on in these rounds. This is exactly what they have to do to basically keep Fnatic honest. Make sure that Fnatic don't get too greedy and start rushing up to that A site early on in the rounds. They need to make sure that Fnatic, they have to be a little wary. And somehow they're not spotting out that angle. Seized instead. He's holding it a bit more closed. He's safe here. Is he going to actually pick up the first man around that corner? It's going to be Crims. HE onto it, and there's the flash as well. Flamey walks in, straight into a bullet from Crims. And now JW, he's looking for a shot, but the flank comes out. Guardian and Edward. Edward having rotated in through connector. He's managed to pick up 2 kills. That completely eviscerates the push. Fnatic have nothing left. It's down to Flusha and Pronax. They still have some nades. And they might actually be able to get this bomb site, this bomb plant down here on the B site. Zeus still kind of holding, but he's way back in CT. He can't actually step forward to deny this. Incredible. Flusha finds the shot onto Zeus. Now only a man advantage here for Na'Vi to work with. And the bomb has now just been planted. Guardian trying to hold this angle. Pronax manages to pick off Seas, who decided to take that fight. Whooping through from Guardian. Takes out Pronax, and that leaves Flusha all by his lonesome. 10 HP. Spots the man dropping down. Gets the headshot clean. Guardian is going to land the shot point blank after having swapped out for the M4. Perfect decision on his part. He needed those bullets. That was way too close.
That wallbang from Guardian. Like, Good lord. Like, he needed that to happen. Like, it looked like that situation was going in favor of Fnatic, picking up the frag where they could after the bomb, and then the fact he got that wallbang, that sealed the deal for them. And then, like, great awareness for him to pick up an M4 as well. That's such a great decision. He knew that Fnatic would be lurking around trying to pick up a frag, but great play from him, and that's going to be a very, very big round in terms of momentum for them.
Absolutely. And it's only through like the top stack, actually. You know, there's 2 stacks of wood there. You can only get it through the top. So Pronax had to be standing up there for Guardian to hit that shot.
Big play.
Crazy stuff. And now Seas, now they go for some more aggression at top mid. Fantastic spray down there by Seas. Takes out Pronax right at the start. And that was the bomb dropped as well for Fnatic, so they're going to have to go back and recover that eventually. But now they're trying to find some way back into this, trying to find the refrag, and it's just not there. JW, however, are they going to try and go for the boost? No, they're just jumping around over there trying to make sure that they have some eyes on mid. C's still lurking here so aggressively, however, but that smoke goes down, and that angle, if it was spotted by Fnatic, that should tell them. So maybe they'll be in position, and they might have been with JW, except that Guardian picks him up. It's going to be down to Crims over there, but he's not going to be able to get anything. He doesn't really have a target to work with. Instead, they swap places. Edward will hold close now with the M4, so Fnatic could be playing it like they expect an AWP around there. That won't be the case. Na'Vi right now starting to find themselves. There's the first kill going Fnatic's way, however. Olofmeister takes the fight up close with Seized and wins. And now they have to wonder exactly where they're going to be going here. With 40 seconds left, they have to go pick that bomb up, Fnatic. And they're going off of Flusha, essentially, who's been lurking on the B site. Doesn't look like he's been able to find Zeus, however, who's still alive. And as I say it, Zeus catches Flusha. So that pretty much seals it here for Fnatic. 30 seconds left, and it's going to have to just be a straight-up bum rush, it looks like. But they already have Edward just flanking them perfectly. This is Na'Vi in full control of the situation. In this round, at least, not at one point where they're in danger of losing control.
Yeah, fantastic work there. Like, managing to get the opening 2 frags, and we know how strong Fnatic can be. In those situations, you can never write them off in the rounds. We saw it happen a lot against Nip yesterday. Like, even being on a 3-on-5, they somehow crawl back into the round. So, nice discipline there from Na'Vi. Although C's got caught out of position a little bit, could have gone either way, I think. But the fact Guardian was just hitting all his shots and just completely locked that round down was fantastic work from him. We can see C's actually opting for a little MP7 here. It could be interesting to see how that actually pans out for him.
If he's holding up close, I mean, he's actually pushed all the way up here into T-spawn. He could hit this perfect timing to get the flank. Olofmeister, though, he's holding this angle. Free kill on the Seized, casually picked up as well. Sue's trying to go for the wallbang through, but he's not going to get lucky there. And Fnatic very quickly took control of Soars in this round as well, because at the same time as Olofmeister holding back, Crims leads the charge into Soars, clears it up, and he gets the frag there as well. Zeus is gone. 2-man lead now for Fnatic. Decent nade count here still for Na'Vi, but there's a minute left. Wow. That nade, though, perfect nade from Edward. And it does decent damage to JW as well. That was fantastic work.
Lovely.
But now it's time for the counter boost. Is somebody holding by the barrels? Oh, JW should have spotted the man there. Not sure if he did. He's got to be close. Yeah, now he definitely spotted it. But there's 2 guys playing on this B site now, so it's going to be very difficult for Fnatic. They need to set up the nades. Guardian with an HE of his own, not really going to do too much. And we have to see now, do Fnatic commit or not? With 30 seconds left, they're starting to get second thoughts about this. They've worked their way back into mid now. Bomb made its way through connector up into mid, and they could actually push onto this A site. And this would actually be very difficult now for Na'Vi to hold. There's a single man here that's Flamey holding behind the truck. No, it's Edward, actually. He steps out at the perfect time and picks up the first kill. 15 seconds left, and he wins. Takes out the bomb carrier. Now, this is so difficult for Fnatic to come back in. They will get that kill, Olofmeister, but he needs to step forward, pick up that bomb, get the plant, and it's just not meant to be when Flamey is there to rotate back onto the site.
Yeah, it's a great rotation from Fnatic there to make that decision to go towards the A-bomb site. It was the best decision they could have made in that situation. But that was all about Edward, picking up 2 very valuable frags there and securing the round for Na'Vi. And that's going to be another, what is that, the 4th one in a row now? This is the momentum we're talking about. When you get on the CT side, you want to be racking these rounds up. It is a CT-sided map. You want to be locking them down and kind of shutting out the terrorists. We see an almost forced buy now from Fnatic. They've got the Tech 9 on JW, and without the AWP in hand, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to work picks, especially when Guardian's on such top form as he has been displaying so far.
Yeah, this is the impact that Guardian can have on these maps when he is in shape. He makes a huge difference for Na'Vi. Flamey gets the double spray down. The second one actually given to him there. Zeus, however, not going to be able to pull the trigger. And Olofmeister lives with 1 HP. Flusha is here with 16. And Flusha will... No, that's Olofmeister, rather, that will fall to Edward. Let's connector cleared up. 2-on-2 scenario. And the bomb just fixing to get planted. Nade onto Cat. And whoa, somehow that does nothing. Instead, it's going to be Guardian. Nice little pop flash there to try and clear the angle, but it's still a 2-on-2 scenario here. And Crims will best Edward. That Sewers cleared up. At this point now, it comes down to the remaining man. Flush is just trying to dance around the pillars, just trying to hide himself from Guardian. And Guardian, no luck at all right now. He can't seem to find anybody. Look at this position from Flusha. This is fantastic. Smoke goes down, but Flusha having none of that. Puts shots through and manages to pick Guardian up point blank, and that will be 6 rounds for Fnatic. Once it gets tied up 5-5, Fnatic pull right back in the lead again.
Yeah, great post-plant mentality there from Fnatic. Not overfacing, not giving Guardian a look into the round whatsoever. We know how deadly can be in those retake situations, forcing him to go into the AK and running around. They just played it perfectly, no facing whatsoever, playing the bomb, and that's going to be a round now. And Fnatic actually take the lead again.
And now we go into overpass. I mean, this is now getting very difficult here for Na'Vi. They've got their backs to the wall. They can just barely cobble together a buy. Guardian has his AWP, but look at the aggression all out now from Fnatic, starting to push onto this site. They trade 1-for-1, and the damage is there. They continuously strike back and forth. Zeus is now lending a hand. Guardian will close in, and it will be seized in Zeus. The combination play and the crossfire as well that will just completely annihilate that Fnatic push coming in through B main.
Yeah, we saw Fnatic do that quite a lot yesterday. Just when they get string around together and they know the CTs aren't going to be essentially a full buy, they just like to opt to walk through the B smoke. And like sometimes it works great for them. They get that first entry frag, it is phenomenal. But that time, it just kind of let Navi get back into the game. There, they got the full spray down through the smoke, and then did great work there. As I say, that Guardian picked up another aggressive kill here. Terrorists are going to be eco, but that's just a nice way to secure the round for them. They just need to fall back to the bomb site now and ensure they don't drop any frags here. Very fragile economy for them.
Yeah, nicely done there by C's dropping that bomb. Now he can take control here. He actually hangs around a bit too long there. These pistols, that's the thing, they're so lethal. If you're facing 2 or 3, I mean, it can be very dicey for you, and C's finds that out. Pronax hitting shots. And Edward is here basically, he is the safety mechanism here for Na'Vi. They get control of mid once again, and they will be able to close out and actually pull into the lead now. 7-6, Na'Vi. Very, very quick rounds there. Very quick 2 rounds. We're in the 14th round of this half. Quickly approaching the end, and this is going to be a key round for Fnatic. If they don't win this round or at least get a bomb plant.
Yeah, I can see Crims there. He had the money to drop the AWP. He was kind of contemplating it and not taking armor for himself, but they've opted for the 5 AKs again here. And it looks like they're going to be going towards A here, and perhaps a little lurk coming in from Flusha. We've seen him like he can hold that bomb site by himself. He can get entry frags all day long now.
And instead it's going to be aggression straight up. Guardian doesn't hit that shot. Now the pressure begins. He will get overwhelmed. Crims trading 1-for-1, however, Seized is there, and he's still alive in restroom. Makes it back to the A site with 29 HP. But it is a 4-on-4 until Edward steps forward. Perfect flank from Long. Crims turns around in time to take him out, and JW somehow finds Seized. This is actually getting a little bit out of control here. Na'Vi, it's going to come down to Flamey. Lurk in restroom, and Crims! How is Crims pulling this off? You could see the frustration on Flamey's face just now. But the fact that Crims, that's 2 kills where he had something like 20 HP.
Yeah.
That's incredible, the reactions there. Zeus rotates back around, trying to get into position to stop this bomb from getting planted, but that smoke goes up, and it's not going to be possible for him now. I mean, they've even got the HEs going onto him. He's got 30 HP, pushing onto the site. No fear now, takes the fight, wins it. Will remove Crims from the equation, but Flusha still has full HP, and Zeus has no kit. He has no kit, he has no time to play with. He needs to find this kill right now. At this point, it comes down to whether Flusha gets impatient or not, but Flusha will take that step forward out into the open and win it. And Olafmeister literally wiping the sweat off his brow. Yes, that was a tense round, Olaf. It was close.
Yeah, we saw Edward get in such a fantastic position there, taking down the bombing party, and I feel like he could have picked up 2 frags there, maybe overfacing a little bit. Once he had the intel, the bomb going down, perhaps should have just got himself into a hidden position and just called for the team to rotate and lock that down. Instead, he gave his frag away and gave them the entrance back into that round, and this is going to be a very important last round indeed. We can see a really awful buy coming in from Navi here. Like the scouts was on siege, but to be fair, I didn't see the AWP there. He has got the AWP in hand, so potentially they could take this one, but Fnatic seem like they are a bit of a roll right now.
Yeah, Fnatic are the ones with the momentum at this point. They've got the nades as well to start creating some opportunities for themselves. Flash into restroom right there, and pretty sure that was spotted by Crims. You see him just stand stock still, waiting. Smoke goes down, he spots him out, and he loses the fight versus Edward. Key frag right there for Edward, getting that entry. They have wrapped around, however, but at this point, it's going to come down to Long. And Pronax was waiting, takes out Edward, but Flamey just locks on. Mechanical precision there, takes Pronax out. And Navi, they're fighting tooth and nail to maintain the advantage, to maintain that man advantage. Jump in now, Flamey just spraying wildly. Is he going to actually commit to this fight? Yes, he will. Olafmeister playing with it right now, but Flamey comes out ahead. Last bullet gets the job done. Zeus, in the meantime, took out JW, it looks like, and it is going to be Flusha, last man alive here in a 1v4. He doesn't even have the bomb, and he's only got 35 seconds left to play with here. As soon as Navi figure this out, he's toast. Well, he's not going to be literal toast. They don't have an incendiary, but they have some bullets. And Flamey, man, I guess Flamey, it works too. Yeah,
nice last round from Navi. Like, they really needed to win that last round. I'm going to say 8 rounds is not enough against a team like Fnatic, but they obviously needed to win that half, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Like, they really do need the pistol here just to get themselves some sort of momentum built up and like get themselves back in and get in a comfortable position. But I think we saw Fnatic do such an aggressive pistol yesterday that they just locked it down straight away.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, it used to be that this was a very heavily favored CT side, or rather a CT-sided map, but we can't expect teams to get more T rounds. 7 just feels like a lot, though. They really needed 9-6 here, Na'Vi, and even then it would have been cutting it close. Pronax holding up close. Smoke goes down. Does Edward actually peek around the corner? Yes, he does, but he's getting shot in the butt, and he's going to go down. This is now Olofmeister setting it up. That crossfire really paying off. The damage being dealt, and this is a straight Kevlar buy from Na'Vi as well. They have no nades to facilitate things. They have to get it done with elbow grease. They have to find the shots. Flusha, however, he's going to get the headshot first, and there's the fade away from Olofmeister. And you can see Starix, man, hands in the air right there.
Yeah, the Glock train with all armor and stuff as well, it works on some maps, but for me on this, you need the smoke to at least just to guarantee a bomb plant. And Fnatic is so strong there. Pronax getting himself in that position by restrooms there, and like they did, although Navi checked, he somehow managed to still get a frag there. It didn't go down for a while, and that's going to be a very important round indeed. You can see Fnatic opting for their favorite SMGs there. You got Scouts, Famuses, MP9s, P90s. It's going to be a field day for them, I think. But Tech9's in the hands of Navi and Armor as well. As we say, that JW opens up the fragging on long, taking down Guardian with a great scout headshot now. And all he needs to do is just play with this terrorist. He knows he can't take him down.
This is a scary bit of a battle, actually. JW getting headshot at that range, and there you go. One more would do it. Does he act? This is pure JW. Why is he still here?
Yeah,
I mean, sure, he's got Crims watching his back, but I mean, I guess he just doesn't really care because it's only a scout that he's dropping in the end. But come on, man. Crims is fairly low himself, but he's got 3 frags. We'll see if he can pick up a 4th one here. If seized, we'll check left when he comes around the corner. Instead, it will be the man holding. And that's going to be Flusha. A hail of bullets with that P90 gets the job done. And they even save a Tech 9. Wonder if Pronax is going to be generous and give that to Olaf.
Pretty clean round from like there, considering the terrorists did have armor and Tech 9s, and with the SMGs in hand, I managed to only drop 1 frag there, which was the scout, and it's going to be a full Glock buy here from Navi. So this should be a pretty clinical round from Fnatic. Should be able to keep all their guns as well. It'll be interesting to see whether they actually carry on those SMGs into the first buy.
Well, there's the aggro flashes to top mid that's going to slow things up for Na'Vi, but they've got MP9s. 2 MP9s and a P90. Not so worried about Flusha with the P90, but the MP9 there for Crims actually going to work and taking out Zeus. Drops the bomb as well and underpass, so this is going to make things a little bit tricky here. Edward even having to back off, give ground. And JW pushed all the way up to long. This is lethal range, however. I don't really like the fact that he's up here, because if there's like 2 guys coming around the corner, he could actually die. Does react in time, however, and takes out Seized. Flusha there, 2 kills for him, and Crims gets the last kill with that MP9. Like the fact that he's getting the kills with the MP9. I'd almost prioritize like giving the kills to the MP9 just because you get $600 instead of $300. And that makes a big difference as far as the money is concerned. Crims, you saw, started the round with 6,000 in the bank.
Yeah, upgrading there. Obviously, Flusha will keep his P90. We know how strong that is. Olofmeister banking on building up his economy, keeping the Famus. I think that's a wise move. Especially if you've got a bit of breathing room. Like you've got the economy on your side, and they'll be able to buy next round even if they lose this one.
Well, JW just a little bit too slow there to catch them going past. And Olofmeister down in the underpass, basically, as always.
Gets punished a little bit there. He's been knocked down to 18 HP. We normally see him picking up the frag there.
Well, that was actually a clean fight as well for Zeus. But JW is now upgraded to his AWP. No jumping this time. Spots out the man and gets the kill onto Guardian. And that was just easy work. JW made it look so clean. And at this point now, it's going to be Zeus, and Pronax will win that fight. M4 in hand, gets the headshot, dropped down to 2 HP. So he is in grave danger. He has to back off short and manage to get back into CT side on B site. Still trying to figure out exactly where Na'Vi are going to decide to go, but this style, again, Na'Vi aiming for picks, spread out across the map, and right now it is not going their way. It's very similar to what we saw in Mirage. Seized, however, decides to take things into his own hands, and he takes out Flusha, but then Pronax up close will catch Seized completely off guard. That leaves the remaining 2 members here, Flamey and Edward, basically trying to pincer in on this B site, but a rotation has already come through. Crims is now on the lower site there to support Pronax.
Yeah, 20 seconds left on the clock. They really need to get the skates on here. They're actually going to get the bomb down. I don't see it happening. They should get dealt with pretty cleanly in the next 10 seconds or so.
Well, now, I mean, they have 2 smokes, but they now are just 1 man alive here. 1v3. Catches out Pronax, but 8 seconds left, and the time that it's going to take Edward to get back up onto the site, it might not be good enough. He hits that headshot, but he's only got 3 seconds. It is now impossible. JW doesn't even need to face him at that point.
He went for it anyway. Why not?
That's just pure JW for you, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, there we go. The economy's been absolutely shattered for Navi now. They're going to have to consider another, I would say, just go for a full EK there. But it looks like they're going for the smokes. They've gone for a full... Oh, this could be disastrous for them. They've gone pretty much all in on this. They've got a lot of nades, all Tech 9s, some armor being bought there as well. They have lost 3 or 4 rounds in a row. So the economy, like, they can afford to get this stuff in the bank, but I don't see what's going to come of this. Well, I think we're going to see a full-on B execute here. Yeah,
it's looking like it, and this is so similar to when Navi had their backs to the wall on Mirage. What did they do?
Yeah.
They came out of it, they went for a Force Tech 9, and when they went for the Force Tech 9, that's when they went for the execute. So we'll see if they're going to be... I mean, the one thing with the there is an advantage to have with the Tech 9s as well, though, versus executing with AKs, is that you don't have to stop with the Tech 9s.
Sure.
You just can run and gun. You never stop, basically, like you have to do with the AKs to take your shots. So there is that. There's an element of speed that you can have with the pistols that you just don't have with the rifles. But still, it's like you kind of wish you would see an AK setup here. Crims, though, just going to work with this MP9. In danger of getting rushed down, however, only 14 bullets, and he's going to miss the shot. There you go. Flamey just comes whipping around that corner, takes his face off. Pronax to hold down short, however, and Flamey's going to get caught there. So not the end of the world. Man advantage maintained, but there's an MP9 now on Na'Vi, and that's dangerous. Edward could put that to good use. It will be the B-side play here after all. Bomb is making its way through main. Flusha holding just on the edge of this smoke, waiting to see if anybody's going to try and push through. On short, he holds up close, gets that fight, spots the second man, and he's not going to get the kill. Seized, lives, but not for long. Pronax is there to plug the gap. 3 kills for Pronax total in that round. And Fnatic up on 12 rounds now to the 8 of Na'Vi. Still a fairly decent buy situation there for Na'Vi, though. They do succeed in getting 2 kills.
Yeah, well, they get $3,400 now. They've lost so many in a row, so that's why they're able to get those Tech 9s and utility buys. But it's not going to be like you can see Guardian has got the orb. He's not no head armor, no utility on him, but it's all going to be down to him. I think they're going to be trying to utilize him as best as they can to try and open up this round for him. He knows that the Fnatic like to pick this position, and if this is it, this is the shot he's going to have to make here. They know potentially he hasn't seen him with the nade being
exactly. That's so clever.
Play.
By Flusha,
really cool.
Uses the HE to cover his way through.
Yeah.
So now Guardian doesn't know if anybody's on the right. This is very tricky stuff. Zeus hoping to basically win out versus the man holding a connector. That's JW falling back there, giving ground. And so now that we've had the initial skirmish, where do Na'Vi go apart from into a bullet from JW? Pushed up into mid. He closes up on Edward up, and now this looks very difficult for Na'Vi because once again they're playing from behind. They've got a man down. They still have a decent nade count on Seized and Zeus. Molotovs give them some options if they want to go to the A site. We haven't really seen any action on A, however. It just seems like Na'Vi keep getting shut down before they can even really get anything going. And they're gathering down in connector once again. 3 players there. Bomb waiting in T-spawn. They're going to jump down into sewer and take out Pronax. So here we go. The big moment.
Yeah, this is it.
3-on-4 scenario, and they could collapse onto this site. Olafmeister should get smoked out here, and he is not going to be able to see anything at all. HE goes onto that site, however, and he's going to have the Molotov as well. It's going to be right on the edge. Is he going to be able to deny the plant? He has to get up here very quickly, and he's going to find the man, but not land the shot. Zeus is there to deny him, and it's going to be Crims and JW now in a 2-on-4 scenario. Make that 1-on-4 as Crims is now the last man standing. Takes out Seized. Zeus and Guardian very low, but the Triangle of Doom, they're going to have plenty of time to set it up for Na'Vi. It's just too difficult to position here for Crims. You can see he's looking for somebody to get greedy.
Yeah, it's going to do very well to find any sort of entrance to this round. It's interesting from Fnatic getting the opening frag with JW there, and then still being so overextended after getting that initial frag. Like normally the mentality is a CT. If you get that first frag, you want to just fall back and make the T's work for it from that point. You've got the advantage, and you want to force them into the site. You're going to have to draw the clock down. You've got a 5-on-4 situation, but Pronax there a little bit too extended on short for my liking. Lost his frag and then allowed that entry into B, and the plant was going down. They had the chance to stop the plant, but had he have done that, but potentially could have been a different outcome, but it wasn't meant to be, and Na'Vi do get back into this one.
Yeah, Zeus with the accurate read essentially managed to get into position in time to defend that bomb planter. Because Olafmeister, you could see through the smoke. You could just see that guy's heel.
Yeah.
That was a matter of split seconds, but that's what CS is about. Down to the timing always. And well, now 9-12 the score, so Na'Vi slowly but surely bringing it back here. Fnatic, this is a key round for Fnatic as well. They've just spent all of their money to get equipped for this one, so between both of these teams, Na'Vi have just won a round. If they were to lose again, they get reset. Fnatic, their backs are to the wall. This is it, 22nd round of this map. And we can have a big shift in momentum. JW to pick up the initial frag, however, pushed all the way up once again to top of long, basically. Takes out Flamey.
With no support either. It's pretty crazy play from him, but he just makes it work for himself so well. Great opening round from it. Great opening pick from him.
And now the fall back onto the site, but not fast enough. Olofmeister gets caught out in the open, and Edward is there to pick him up. Smoke goes down to block that off, and now we have the counter boost coming through, but will he have a target here? JW very well might. There you go. Edward walks into it, and he puts the shot into the wall. Big mistake there by JW. That was a free frag that could have definitely given his team a big advantage. That's uncharacteristic, especially when he seems like he's kind of feeling it right now. JW, he's starting to hit some shots. Him hitting a freebie, basically, on Edward there. Very awkward stuff. And Zeus just trying to lurk his way in there. He's got the Molotov for the back of the barrels, however, and Guardian looking for this shot. Man might be forced out into the open here. HE goes in, flashes as well, just trying to buy the time. Pronax trying to live, but it's not meant to be. Seized and Zeus find both kills on this B site, and with 10 seconds remaining, in true Na'Vi fashion, that bomb is going to get planted. Crims, JW, the last two alive here. And they're the ones now who are trying to get something done. Crims quickly up short, picks up the first kill, gets the second one as well, could get the third. Does he figure it out? Man holding in main pit, but JW now pushing forward. They've spotted it out, and JW taking this fight straight up with the P2000. Crims walks in, picks up the last one, and it's going to be Edward now. Rotated around a short, however. Crims does have a kit, but he's got so little time, and at this point, he has to commit to it. Edward, of course, is going to leap on the opportunity, but that was 3 HP. Edward barely lives.
Yeah, that was a really nice round from Navi. They seem to be favouring this B bomb site. Every time they've gone there so far, they seem to be working for them. They're actually making the entry frags, getting the bomb down, and these post-plant situations seem to be going in their favour quite a lot as well. Like you said before, that was a very important round for both teams. You can see Fnatic now are being forced onto an eco here. I think that's a wise choice from them. Just get this round over with and then try and just close this one out. I do feel like Fnatic still do have the advantage here in this series.
Now we can say that right now. All of a sudden, since they've finally succeeded in breaking Fnatic's economy.
Yeah.
This is the big shift. HE going to be fairly ineffective there, but the score is now 10-12, and Na'Vi, they've just slowly taking control of long. They're sticking together as a group as well. They leave one man lurking on his own, that's Zeus. But then the four of them basically trying to stick together so that if they get jumped by rifles, if they happen to walk into a stack somewhere, they're not going to give anything up. They aren't going to give a rifle to Fnatic. This is the anti-eco doctrine, essentially. You just have to make sure that you always got control of your guns. But JW finds Zeus regardless. That's the lurk. Crims takes out Seized. Two-man advantage now, an AK to work with. Edward up on this A side, however, but the rotation's already coming through. They're going to have to worry about Bank. Flusha trying to look through the gap in the smoke. Could he actually find a target to work with here? 3 players survive for Na'Vi. Guardian just dancing on the edge, and Edward catches down Crims, but there you go. Flusha hits the timing, draws the attention to himself, and now it is going to be a 1-on-3. Flamey doing the best that he can to hold on to this site. He's going to take the first man. Second man looks for the shot, but he's not going to get it. Pronax with the USP is going to find the kill. And plenty of time for the defuse. Talk about a complete and utter turnaround, even with Na'Vi playing so carefully.
Yeah, like the problem there was, like, even when they were losing the frag, there was no teammate to back them up. Like, once they gathered there on the eco, they need to be playing that frag for frag. As soon as someone goes down in those situations, you need to be playing with the playstyle that you've got a teammate with you to get that frag back. And the fact that he can get back into that round of USPs and 1 CZ was very questionable, and Na'Vi could be very frustrated with themselves there, I feel. And you can see now, Fnatic, after that winning an eco so cleanly, got a full buy here, and it's like, look at the economy on Na'Vi. They've gone all in here. This could be all she wrote for this one, because after this round, they're going to be left with absolutely nothing.
Exactly right. Fnatic up on 13 rounds. If Na'Vi lose this, they're reset. They are doomed. Fnatic will be able to get up onto match point, and JW starting off strong, takes out Edward once again. JW's been so consistent on this map with the entry frags. Misses that shot there, but he goes for the follow-up and drops Flamey down to 20 HP. That's the other man with the AK. They're going to have to start juggling guns around now, Na'Vi. Make sure that somebody with full HP has something to work with. This Crims holds up close. Flash there to try and slow them down. They're just putting random fire through, but he manages to dodge all of it. And now JW's like, oh, yes, action over here. Yes, please. Flamey, I missed you once. Not going to miss you again. Nice flash. And they're just going to go for the rush, but JW gets the kill on a Seized. Nonetheless, in a situation where you should not get anything, where you should just get overrun, he still trades 1 for 1. And that is going to be a real blow dealt to Na'Vi's confidence. JW, just a monster. Man advantage here for Fnatic, and they still have 2 incendiaries with 35 seconds left. This is excellent for the Swedes. And look at this, paying attention to the angles there. Flamey, nothing to work with. He can't even pick that man off.
Yeah, he needs to find something, and he needs to find it now. They're going to have a chance of even getting to his bomb site. Look at the setup that Fnatic have got. 3 people on the A bomb site. They know they're committed here.
And just as he comes around that corner, Crims is going to find the angle. Zeus trying to battle his way in through long. Picks up the first one, but Crims is there to take him out in turn. 3 members survive for Fnatic. 14 rounds on the board for them. And Na'Vi pretty squarely in a deep hole here. 2,000 across the board for them.
Yeah.
It has to be, and Zeus already going for the P250. So basically you're thinking just Hail Mary here. Save this round, buy up in the next.
Yeah. They're going to have to go for the draw here. Like, they can't afford to force that buy. That is not going to win it. So they've gone for the P250s. This is hell for Navi right now. This is like when you're this close to losing, you have to do an eco. It's just such a difficult and hard decision to make. But as we say, that Flame is making it work, and they're making up the opening frag. A little bit sloppy perhaps from Crimza.
Yeah, getting caught out of position. That all-out aggression from Na'Vi paying off. JW in position once again with the AWP, however, to lock down this midsection into restroom. And well, right now we still haven't quite seen it. They are spread out fairly. I mean, they're very spread out right now, Na'Vi as well. All across the map. 2 guys on long. 1 all the way over by the main entrance to B site. And they're looking to see if they can't pick somebody up here from Fnatic. Basically get lucky. But you see how Fnatic pushed together in mid. I mean, as I say that, JW, of course, is all by his lonesome. So this is just pure JW for you. But then if he hits shots like that, it's not really the end of the world either. That's the bomb now exposed out in the open. JW didn't get eyes on it. So Edward should be able to pick this up for free. But Edward has an M4. Shot going to be missed, takes the fight, nearly wins it. JW down to 5 HP, and Edward hot on his heels. He desperately wants to get this kill, drops the bomb, wants to make sure, and he's not going to get the kill. JW point blank.
This guy just never knows when to
here.
stop. I don't know, I can't believe he's still going for it. You've won the round, just fall back and just secure it. 30 seconds left on the clock, he just can't get enough.
And he hears the steps as well, so he knows somebody's there.
Look at him.
Another one? Like, this is getting ridiculous.
How, like, the confidence that guy's got, like, to keep baiting. Like, we know he's good, but, like, at some point you've got to decide, is it worth me losing this gun just to have some flashy shots there? Like, the round was secure. But there we go, he pulls it off, as he always does, and that's going to put them onto match point in this series here. After taking the first map of Mirage, they're going to be in a very comfortable position there. Navi need to win 5 in a row, and for me, it's just it's not going to happen. It's going to be very difficult. If they do it, then my hat goes off to them.
If JW continues to deliver entries, that's the thing. Navi now, they don't want to have anything to do with them. They're going to pressure over on B site, get control of Soar, have a little bit more room to work with over here. Crims is rotated down with Olofmeister into connector, however, so they are going to have a bit of a stiff defense here. And Flusha looking for the wallbang, and I think he just got a little bit lucky there. So this is now very scary indeed for Na'Vi. They've suffered some damage. They've taken damage. They're light on nades. They do have 4 smokes, so they could try. They have the smoke and flash combination here for this B side if they want to, but Crims wins versus Zeus, and look at Olofmeister. Not a chance in the world for Guardian. 2 entry frags now for Fnatic, and they are still, practically full HP. Great wallbang on a JW there by C's, but then he just gets completely slapped around. Flusha's there, takes him out, and now we're looking at basically Fnatic practically with the round in the bag as Olofmeister's pushed all the way up into playground. This is going to be nasty. Who actually takes this fight? Who actually runs through the smoke? And he catches him with a nade in hand. Olofmeister making life hard for yourself, man. He gets the kill in the end, takes out Flamey, but it is going to be Edward now 1v5. Match point for Fnatic now, and this is looking fantastic for the Swedes.
Yeah.
Dominant performance, just dominant. Flamey, or rather Edward, not going to give up though. Gets the headshot onto Olofmeister, so finally removes that thorn from his side, but then he walks right into the waiting arms of Crims, and that will be that. Final round for Fnatic, and a quick 2-0 victory for them. Na'Vi doing the best that they could, but Fnatic this round, this match, there was no hesitation. They really just did work.
Yeah, and a much-needed 3 points for Fnatic there as well. Like, after dropping a map2 Vox yesterday, they needed to win out almost every single game they had on. And 2-0 against a powerhouse such as Navi, I think that's pretty much secured their second place in the group, and I think that's a fantastic result for them. Very clinical, nice play. Didn't have to do anything too fancy, just relying on the pure skill of JW over the 2 maps there. He seemed to do some great work, especially on Mirage as well. Olofmeister was getting